Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I don't know if I'm going to actually upload this, but I did want to film it just in case I did decide, you know what, let's just upload this and see what actually happens and see how this actually goes. So if you've been following my recent vlogs, you know that I have been in a POTS flare since basically November 8th. That's the day that I woke up and was just randomly dizzy. Just randomly woke up dizzy. I don't do that anymore. It's just, I'll get dizzy when I move positions, but I don't get dizzy from just waking up and being alive anymore. But I spent that entire day dizzy, not knowing what was going on. I'm thinking, okay, just random, maybe this will go away, and it did. But then the nausea and the vomiting started, and it was bad, to the point where I couldn't keep anything down. And I thought, you know what, sometimes I just randomly do this. It's just POTS, my body does weird things. Nuggets in here trying to climb the walls. If you hear anything, that's what it is. But I thought, okay, this will go away too. Well, then it didn't go away. The nausea and the vomiting stuck around. So I figured, you know what, make an appointment with the doctor just to be safe. So the only appointment available was a video visit, of course. So November 16th, I had a video visit with my doctor. He said, it sounds like some kind of stomach bug. What we'll do is just stay off of food, and then when you're not throwing up anymore, you can start eating again. But start with bland foods, and then you can go back to normal. So that's what I did. Within 3-4 days, I was back to normal. And I hate to say normal because I don't have a normal. I have whatever my body throws. Well, I was kind of iffy. My nausea and vomiting started coming back. It wasn't horrible, but it was coming back. So I dealt with it like I always do, because it's me and I throw up. If I have a normal, that's my normal, me just randomly throwing up and not being able to eat till a certain time of the day, and then I'm perfectly fine again. Well, November 28th came around and I woke up and I was dizzy, and this was different than on the 8th when I woke up and I was dizzy. This day I was dizzy all day long. It was horrible. I felt like I was moving. Like I could be sitting still like I am now, and my entire body felt like it was rocking or moving back and forth or spinning or something. Just some kind of movement. The type of movement changed throughout the day, and it was just like, okay. So I thought, come on. So I thought, okay, I'll just deal with it. Easiest way, I took a meclizine, it didn't help, it made it worse. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is just a one-day thing. So that's what I thought. Well, had to say hi. Well, I just left it as it was. I kind of thought, okay, well, nothing's going to help, so I'm just going to sleep it off. I thought maybe I would sleep and it would go away. And the next day, I woke up and it was still there. I didn't feel the movement as much, but I was still dizzy. So I went, okay, you know what, we're not doing this. We're going to go to the doctor and get this figured out. And of course, leave it to me, the only appointment they had was December 4th or January 3rd. So I kept thinking, what do I do if this goes away? And then the nausea started back in that day, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going. But in the back of my head, I kept thinking, if this goes away randomly, I'll just cancel it. I got extremely lucky they had that appointment on the 4th, because my doctor, getting in with him is, especially this time of year, is insane. But I went to the doctor on December 4th, which was Monday, because it is currently the 6th. But I went to the doctor. He said, I don't know how you've had a stomach bug this long, but you have a stomach virus. He thought maybe I didn't have one to begin with. It was just my POTS. And then he thought, well, maybe I had one, it went away, and I got another one, because it's made my immune system sucks. But at this point, on Monday, the dizziness was better. It's still there, but I'm not spinning anymore. I'm barely noticing it, which I'll take. And he says, that's just your POTS. It's from where you're dehydrated, from where you're vomiting so much. You can't vomit that much, even if you are able to keep water down and still be hydrated. It's just not possible. Well, Tuesday I got a message from my cardiologist asking me if he wanted, because my doctor figured I was just in a POTS flare on top of the stomach virus with the dizziness. He said, you're in a POTS flare, plus you have a stomach virus, so you're just going to have to deal with both of them at the same time. He doesn't know which one caused which, but I do that. I get sick and I go into a flare. But we've kind of determined at this point, I've just been in a flare for basically a month. But on Tuesday, my cardiologist messaged me and said, do you want me to send you in medication to help you through your POTS flare? And he never does that, but he's in the hospital this week, so he might be actually getting notifications on patient charts that he wouldn't get when he's in the office. I don't know. I didn't tell him anything, and then he messaged me again and asked me what I was flaring with, what the symptoms were. So I sent him back and told him, and he said, okay, well, nausea's not normal. And my thing is, my cardiologist he's not stupid, but he's just not the best cardiologist when it comes to POTS. It's like he knows what it is, but he doesn't comprehend all the symptoms of it. So he's telling me, well, nausea and vomiting is not normal with POTS. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, it is, and you should know that. I'm thinking, you know what, never mind. He sends me, well, go off your POTS medication for 3 to 5 days, and we'll figure, and because the main symptom of my POTS medication is nausea and vomiting. So he's like, you'll just go off your POTS medication for a few days, and you'll see if it makes your nausea and vomiting better, and we'll go from there. But my problem is, I've been having issues with nausea and vomiting since last April, and I didn't go on my new POTS medication until last May, and the issues with the nausea and vomiting come and go. So honestly, if it was a side effect from my POTS medication, wouldn't it be constantly instead of every now and then? Except for when I'm flaring anyway, and I'm already having a number of other symptoms that I typically have with the flare. But that's kind of what I wanted to film, because I kind of wanted to film how I felt without my POTS medication. So I wasn't sure I was actually going to go off of it, but I've talked to both my doctors, and they both said try it. And I'm thinking, okay, at this point we're going to try it. I took my morning dose this morning because I still wasn't sure, and then I thought, you know what? If we're gonna go off of it, I just need to go off of it. I don't need to play around and do all that. So I can't really untake the morning dose, but I am I skipped my first dose this afternoon. I'm about an hour past when I should take that, and I'm already kind of feeling a little bit iffy. It's like, this doesn't feel right. What the hell's going on? And I don't know if that's just in my head or if this is actually my POTS medication not being in my system. Most likely it's just in my head. But I've also noticed today that my dizziness is back. Now, give or take, I noticed this morning, but I had a weird morning. I ended up, before I was even ready and out of bed, and before I had my compression socks on, I had to get out of bed and go throw up. So I'm guessing my dizziness might be from where I let my blood pool this morning, because when I blood pool, I get dizzy. And I had to let my blood pool this morning because it was that or throw up in my floor, and I wasn't throwing up in my floor. So the plan of action right now is I'm going off my medication until Saturday. I'm going to skip my morning dose on Saturday and probably go back on it, just based off how I'm feeling. Log a little bit more over each day and tell you how I'm feeling, and we're going to go from there. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. I would have taken my last POTS dose about 2 hours ago, and so far the only thing I'm actually noticing without it is I'm a little bit weaker than normal, and the dizziness is a little bit weird. It keeps coming and going. Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if this dizzy thing is a blood sugar thing and it's not related to my POTS at all. And I'm nauseous again, but sometimes it just happens with food. I don't think the nausea has anything to do with the POTS medication. I really don't. But I'm going to stay off of it tomorrow and Friday, and possibly not take Saturday mornings to make it a full 3 days, because I shouldn't have taken this mornings, and I know that, but I did anyway. So yeah, because I wasn't completely sure on it, and then I made up my mind and went, you know what, if I just go off of it, it's just going to be easier than if I keep overthinking it. It is December 7th, about almost 6 o'clock. And I'm not sure if it's meds related or if it's just part of my flare, and it's like freaking me out because the dizziness is off, my swelling is worse, and I didn't know my medicine had anything to do with my feet swelling, but apparently it does. And I've even flipped upside down today and let the blood run down from my feet back to my head, because I do that usually at least once a day, and I've done it I think twice today so far, and it's not helping. And my heart rate has been outrageous. Even just sitting still today, I had a resting heart rate of 90, and typically my resting is like 50s to mid 60s, sometimes 70s. And then when I stand up, that's when it goes crazy and it skyrockets if it wants to. But I guess because the medicine does kind of control my heart rate. That's the weird thing. This medicine makes your heart rate go up but your blood pressure go down. But my blood pressure's been higher, or no, Yeah, your blood pressure goes up with it, and your pulse goes down with it. But my blood pressure has gone up without me being on it. That's what I don't understand. It's supposed to raise my blood pressure, but now that I'm not on it, my blood pressure is higher. So I don't know if that's because my heart rate's higher. And it's just like both of them are kind of like going, okay, this is not normal. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So it's just kind of freaking itself out. Then I had, like, I've been shivering because I've been so cold. And I had one of those today when I was on the phone. It lasted about 5 minutes. And, like, my entire body was vibrating. Like, I shake anyway, and it's, like, really bad because you can see it in my right hand now, and you can barely ever see it in my right hand. But my entire body was, like that. And I don't know what's going on with that, because that's been going on since my flare began, and then today it's doing that, and it's worse. I don't know. So I don't know what's my medicine and what's not right now, and it's creeping me out. And I just want, I'm at this point, okay, can I just go back on my meds? Can we get back to normal? Okay, so it is 9 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go to bed because I just can't. I'm done. My body is done. The nausea has been an all-time high today. It does not matter what I take. When I take it, it's not going away. I did manage to eat, so that's kind of helping right now, I think. But I know it's going to be back within a few minutes. So I'm just not even, I'm just done. I'm going to take my magnesium if I can get it in. And I'm going to go to bed because that's just it. I ended up having another one of my shivering fit things about an hour ago. So I'm just honestly, I think that's draining my energy and I'm not realizing it. And like, I'm always fatigued, but I did not realize how fatigued I would be without this medicine. I'm done. I just want to message my doctor tomorrow and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going back on this POTS medication. I'm done. And then taking tomorrow and not skipping it again, because I'm supposed to skip it tomorrow too, and then skip the first dose on Saturday to get a full 3 days. And I just don't want to. As horrible as that sounds, I do not want to skip any more of this medication because it's not helping. What was supposed to help is not helping. Like, I don't know how to get rid of this flare, but going off the POTS medication while in the middle of the flare, even though it was recommended by my doctor, was honestly stupid. And I don't think I'm ever going to listen to this cardiologist ever again. Okay, so it is 12 o'clock on December 8th. I have officially determined I am starting my POTS medication back tomorrow morning. Well, I might. No, I'm going to start it back tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to go through my full 3 days just to make sure I've done my full 3 days so the doctor can't get mad at me, even though it's not like he's actually going to know. But I woke up this morning. I'm still nauseous. I'm still vomiting. And now, of course, this morning I wake up with a headache and a sore throat and an earache. I don't know what the hell's going on with me, but I do this in my flares. The other day I had a swollen lymph node, and I'm thinking, what the hell did the doctor do to me? Because it was Tuesday after I went to the doctor and I felt it. I'm thinking, what did you do to me? But I do this when I flare. My immune system's also trash, so I'm probably just getting sick. But I threw up this morning. I took a Zofran, The only thing different today is I woke up and I was actually craving food. I have not done that in so long. So I'm going to give it a few more hours, and if I don't throw up, I think I'm going to eat. Because I made what I was craving, and I want it so bad. So I'm going to give myself a little bit longer, and I'm going to eat. Not a whole lot, but I am going to eat. Just something. Because I miss food that's actual food. I've been trying to eat bland the last few days, and I've done pretty well on that. Last night I had pickles, but I don't know. Last night I wanted pickles. This morning I wanted coffee cake. And while I want food, I'm going to eat food, even though I am vomiting. But I've been having nausea and vomiting issues for over a year at this point, and I'm really starting to think it's not this flare, and it's not the POTS medication, because if I'm going off the POTS medication and that's what's causing it, then I wouldn't be throwing up anymore. Because I talked to my doctor, and it should be out of my system by this point. It should have been out of my system last night. That's the update for right now. That, and I'm not freezing cold. Like, I have been freezing cold the last few days. Like, I'm cold and I'm chilly, but I'm not so bad to the point where I have to have my space heater on. So I'm hoping I'm on the upswing of this flare, and I am going to continue to kind of update on this flare until I kind of come out of it, just to see how this actually works out and how I actually get rid of this flare. What time is it? Almost 5 o'clock. I'm 2 hours past when I would typically take my dose, and oh my gosh, like, I have got to go back on this. I need to go back on my meds. I know that for 100% fact, because I'm not doing well. The GI symptoms of going off are actually worse than actually if I was on it and having the side effects. And I've learned at this point, I don't think I'm having the side effects, except for maybe one of them. And it's not even that bad of a side effect compared to being off of the medication and the symptoms I'm experiencing. And it doesn't help that I'm flaring, because I can't tell what's from the medication and what's from the flare. Okay, so it's December 9th, and after discussing it with my doctors, we are keeping me off the meds today, and I'm going to start back tomorrow, because I would have had to start with my afternoon doses today. And both the doctors agreed yesterday that's not a good idea. So I'm going to have 3 full days and like a partial day off the meds. But I've already told them I know I have to go back on it. It's not, because I was even sitting here a few minutes ago thinking about it. And then when I stood up, I got really dizzy and my heart started pounding out of my chest, and I'm thinking, okay, so I actually do have POTS. Because in a weird way, being off this medicine was kind of every now and then like, do I actually have this? Am I actually on this for a reason? And then I have symptoms and I have a really bad few minutes, and it's like, yeah, you do. And I know my heart rate's been out of control, and I know my blood pressure's been all messed up, but this is what I do. This is what you do when you have chronic illness. You think. And you think a lot. And it's usually stupid stuff like, am I really sick? Especially when I think I'm out of the flare finally, and that's what this is. Me being out of the flare, I'm feeling better. But with not being on the medicine, I'm not feeling as good as I should, and I could, so, yeah. So tomorrow I go back on the meds. And after a few nights go, I'm looking forward to that. Did it help anything? No. And the only side effect I found out that I'm actually having is frequent urination, but I do that anyway. the problem is, instead of peeing like 30 times a day now, I'm peeing like 15, 20. That's literally the only difference. Because I haven't changed how much water I'm drinking, so yeah. Okay, so it's Saturday night. I'm at my grandpa's, as you can probably tell. And I have the TV on in front of me. That's why the light keeps changing. So, basically I did pretty good all day. Stayed at my baseline. Except for my nausea, which was kind of on and off all day. But that's a give or take. With me, I never know. But, my heart rate spiked to about 100 about 8 o'clock. About 9 o'clock, it hit 140. And I'm numbed out. Like, I can't feel anything. But that's what happens when my heart rate and my blood pressure get really high. So I'm trying to kind of sit here and let it go down and do what I can. I did take my beta blocker, so hopefully that'll help. I also took my magnesium, so that should help as well. And after I get calmed down a little bit, because I think, like, well, not calm down, but once my blood pressure and my pulse drop a little bit, I think I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to start back on my medicine tomorrow. December 11th. Yesterday, I went back on my POTS medication. I didn't get the chance to update yesterday because there was just too much going on. So I figured I'd hop on here today and kind of update for yesterday and today. So yesterday I went back on my POTS medication. I threw up immediately after taking the first dose. So I don't know if I actually got the first dose or not. But after that, the rest of the day was like, okay, nothing wrong, just a shock, like that. I throw up anyway. So, yeah. But the rest of the day, I got the rest of my doses in. I was perfectly fine, feeling okay, till probably about noon. And my body went, and it kind of, it shut down in a weird way. Like, my body got numb, like my entire body. I was numb all day. I was extremely weak. I was having on and off chest pain. My ribs hurt, but my ribs had been hurting. So I don't think that was anything to do with the meds, but I think that was just how my body kind of freaked out. Today, I managed to get all 3 doses in, and I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. Like, I almost feel back to, I hate to say normal, but I almost do feel back to my normal. Like, I feel so good that I was actually able to get in a 45-minute workout today without having to pause the workout video and rest. Give or take, the rest in the video today were a minute long, and I do a lot better with workouts when the rest are longer, so that could be part of that. But today I'm feeling a lot better. Like, right now I'm a little bit shaky and a little bit numb and a little bit bleh. And when I say bleh, I mean, like, okay, I kind of feel like I could puke, but I don't feel like I'm going to puke. But that's normal post-workout for me. Shaky, numb. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to throw up. Other times I don't. Right now I do, but it was an ab workout, and with me having stomach issues, I probably shouldn't be doing ab workouts. Well, it was legs and abs, but yeah. And I will do an entire video on me working out with a chronic illness. I think it's coming next month, but that video is coming, so yeah. But I'm just glad I was able to get in a workout today, because the last few weeks workouts have been sitting workouts, or I've gotten part of one in and I've had to quit in the middle so I didn't get extremely sick. So to be able to get in a full workout today makes me really happy. But that's kind of the update. Yesterday was a little bleh. Today was just kind of back to my normal. Am I out of my flare? I'm not exactly sure. I think I am, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But I do think I'm going to keep my extra salt tablet. I do feel better with extra salt, so even if I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to keep that, and if my doctor tells me to knock it down, I will. But, yep. That's how I'm doing. And also, I think what it was is I was on a 60 milligram in the morning and 230s in the afternoon. And yesterday I didn't think, and instead of taking a 30 in the morning, I took a 60. And then I did the same thing today. But today I feel fine, so I don't know. But my cardiologist recommended knocking me down to a 30 in the morning for the next few days, but I don't think I'm going to do that. With me already having two 60s yesterday and today, do I really want to knock down to a 30 in the morning and have to build back up? I really don't think I do, and honestly, the only reason he told me to do that was for potential side effects. And the side effects is nausea and vomiting, and I'm probably going to do that in the morning, whether I take my pill or not, because I have been. So I don't think I'm going to listen to the cardiologist, and I'm just going to kind of go back to my regular dose. I've already done it for 2 days. A few more days back on my regular dose, and my body should be okay. And kind of go back to normal. So that's kind of the update for today. Okay, so it's December 12th. I thought I was coming out of my flare. Actually, I thought I was out of it. I woke up today. I'm not out of my flare. Like, you can see it in my eyes. That's kind of why I'm in the mirror. Like, I look sick. And I'm wondering if I'm getting, like, real, like, normal people sick. Or if I'm just still in my flare. I don't know anymore. And since my grandma has my cousin's kids, I can get normal people sick real quick, because those two are little infectious diseases on wheels. I swear to God, that's what they are. Like, I worked at a daycare and got sick all the time. And I thought as kids got older, they didn't get sick as much. No, I was wrong. It seems like every time you turn around, one of them has a fever, one of them's throwing up. And they weren't sick the week I got that stomach virus. But I'm starting to wonder if I got it from one of them. And that's what sent me into this flare. And my doctor has said that. That had to be what sent me into this flare. And yeah, I can hear Nugget crying. I don't know what he wants. But I just kind of wanted to do this update. I don't know. I'm still keeping my salt up because right now I'm over the stomach virus. I know that. It's just my regular pot symptoms. Plus, they're like 10 times, or actually, they're like, yeah, today they're like 100 times worse than what they normally are. Yesterday they were like 10 times worse, so I thought I was coming out of it. I don't know. This is life with a chronic illness. It is December 13th, and I wanted to get on here and close out this flare video and kind of like this whole video. And it's just, it took me about a week to film it. I gave you the update of how I went into a flare in November and everything, and I kind of wanted to tell you how I honestly don't know how I came out of it. I think a lot of me coming out of it was I had to get rid of the normal people illness that was making me sick. I think that was the biggest thing. That, and I upped my salt and my sodium intake drastically. Like, I went from 2 salt capsules a day to 3. I was salting literally everything that I ate. Well, almost everything. I think there were maybe 1 or 2 things I didn't put salt on the entire time. Give or take, I was barely able to eat through most of this flare. It wasn't until the last 3 or 4 days that I've actually been able to eat again. I don't know if I'm going to cut back down on my salt and my sodium now, or just kind of keep it up, because I do feel a little bit better with my sodium a little bit higher from my salt tablets. So I think I might keep the 3 capsules a day. But my normal light and my Vitacium electrolyte capsules and the fast chews, these 3 things are what saved my butt when it came to getting in enough salt and sodium. Like, I swear by all 3 of these, but especially when I'm in a flare, I swear by these even more. That it helps that I have a doctor who actually pays attention to how I'm feeling and actually messages me himself when I send him messages. So that's kind of how I came out of this flare. A very drastic increase in my salt and my sodium, because there were days I was drinking 2 of these, and I hardly ever drink more than 1 of these in a day. So that's going to be it for this video of my flare and going off my meds and going back on them. And I'm doing pretty good going back on my meds. I didn't think I would do so well going back on my meds, because I just went on full strength, and I was supposed to cut back, and I'm thinking, you know what, screw it, I already went on full strength. I'm not gonna bother cutting back and then having to go back full strength and going through something else. And that was up to my cardiologist, and I've talked to him, and right now we're all on the same page as long as I'm feeling better. So yeah, if you like this kind of video, let me know and give it a thumbs up. If you've not done so already, hit the red subscribe button down below. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.